I think one thing that a lot of people have just completely overlooked, they're getting fixated on the body, not the brain. They don't understand that what Tesla has taken, they've effectively transplanted the brain from their autonomous software, their computer vision, into the Optimus humanoid robot. And they are light years. I mean, half a decade or more ahead of where anyone else in the world could possibly be in terms of a brain for a humanoid robot. The body, the movement, the actuators, they'll figure all that stuff out. That's the easy stuff. But it's the brain that matters the most. Vision, perception, planning and action in the real world. And this is something I think a lot of people are overlooking. And I don't see anyone getting this thing that Tesla has developed, the brain. They've got the foundational building block of AGI now in place. They are very serious about executing this. They have a very viable plan to actually scale up production, start with robots in their own factories. They'll be almost useless. In fact, they'll be worse than useless initially. They'll be a drag on productivity. They'll cost. But over time, Tesla can increase the capabilities. Once they're effective and adding valuable labor to their own factories, they immediately will have customers with similar needs that they can start selling these bots to. Then eventually their fleet scales, much like the vehicles. This thing, it's got a feedback loop, gets better and better over time. And ultra long term, AGI is probably, as Elon mentioned, an emergent property of what they're doing. And I just don't see how anyone or any company catches up to Tesla from here. Now, I know this sounds like a deluded Tesla fanboy. I get this a lot. But I'm looking into the future and thinking, how does anyone catch Tesla? How? They will need to deploy millions. Today, they would need to deploy millions and millions of robots, whether vehicles and or humanoid, in the real world to start that data flywheel and the training effect. And I don't see it happening. And I think actually you mentioned quite recently on a video, I think I was seeing your chat with Emmett Peppers. You can get everything that you need to know, the sum of human knowledge on the internet. That's great. But you also need that real world experience. I don't see where anyone captures that real world stuff. And at this point in time, I think a lot of people are getting caught up with the window dressing and not really understanding what's happening here. But I am so excited for the future of Tesla. I can't sleep. Last night I was laying awake for hours just thinking of all these possibilities. And I think it's going to take a very long time, and many years, maybe a decade or more, before people really understand what's happening with this thing. But it seems like Tesla's a very clear path to AGI.